Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. What you'll do is take notes on these comments because you'll be required to post bulleted feedback on your next revision for your task 1. So make sure that you, as I'm going through, that you take your notes, all right? That will make it easier for you. All right, let's jump right in. Okay, we have your name up here. We do need to have, you've got stop motion animation here. I did see your message that came through, but we do want to put it up here at the top so that we can see on every page exactly what you do. This, I would make this container a little deeper. I would grab that arrow that's on the bottom of that strip and I would drag it down so that we see all of that. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Okay, so this doesn't appear linked. That would need to be removed or linked. Okay, good job. Could probably use a little, this probably could be brought up a little bit. It's a little dark, but perfect amount of content, nice lettering, nice typography. And I think the same thing. I think you can bring this container down a little bit. You'll have to, right? We don't need to scroll for just that amount. And you'll want to remove any blank, but let's make sure we see all the content when we land on that page. It's just the right amount of content. Okay, so that's going to be, let me make sure I'm looking at it. I am full screen. Okay, I really want to press this button, but I'll have to come back and look at it. Okay. Good, same amount of spacing. And then you'll close that. Fun. I hope that's you. Now I have to find out. Yes, appears to be. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is looking great. Let's see how it looks on the mobile. Okay, so far so good. You will put your skill up here, your main skill. I would put the skill that you want more work in. Okay. Might want to center that. I'm not sure I have found, you do have your YouTube, and that's good. You may also want to have a LinkedIn for your social media accounts, a professional site, and use the photo that you've used here in your LinkedIn, I think. All right, great start. There's very little left for you to do. Okay, let's be careful of things that don't really go anywhere. I guess that is going somewhere. Make sure you monitor that for anybody who would be sending you something. But good job, it's linking. And I think I mentioned we need to take this out because we don't need a button when it's only going, an inch away. Check and see if that should just be an S with the A there, but the A could be for your name. It's really up to you. Okay, remember videos in the background will slow your site. And check out that rule so that line isn't there. A little bit of spacing next time. I feel like there should be something, I don't want anything there because it's kind of busy over here, but it is a box. and close this space up just a little bit. That's a lot of line spacing there. And I would left align that. I'm not sure you need to have that because you can use this. Next time, leave a little more padding. But this is original work for you, whereas this wasn't so much. And so now you've grown. And I think that you can just put your original work. Move this over to the left, align that. Make sure you were working in 100%. Those look a little small to me. I'm not sure you need parentheses here. Okay. But good job. You do need a form, all right? And, okay. You want to link up to professional accounts. All right, looks a little blank here. I know we have that video going behind it, but it's not always going to show up. So just think about that. As a designer, you can come up with that. Make sure you put your name up here. Pages, that should say home. And the reason is when search engines are looking for something, when a client is looking, it's going to go through, SEO is going to go through your page names, and it won't register that as quickly as it might a home page. So it's just a little confusing. The user, when we land here, we're used to finding certain things. That's why we put the contact at the end, because studies have found that 80% of the people look for the contact at the end. All right, so it's usability and it's web standards. All right, let's look at mobile. Okay, you'll have your name up here. Nice photo. It starts to look a little AI, a little touched up. Be careful of that. It may not be. Okay, so you'll want to link this to this container right here. So it would go up like this. You're going to link your works to here, and you'll find, look in your announcements for a troubleshooting video, and you will find that you'll have an anchor up here in your container, and that's what you need to link to your menu. I would make this larger, and I would remove that. And we talked about that. Any change that you make on your desktop will show up on your mobile. The same is not true for your mobile. It won't show up on your desktop, and that's okay. Center that, I think. All right, close up any gaps. And make sure that you left align that so it's not on a new line. All right, watch that line break. All right, okay, so that works here. Okay, so this, sometimes your mobile will change the layout. This works. Heading needs to come up here, doesn't it? Okay. All right. Great start. Looking forward to seeing these next week. Okay, Bub. Nice clean background. Nice clean video. I want to press that button. A little hard to read this for two reasons. It's that sans serif and it's red. So a light gray or, something chosen from your image there would look better and be consistent with it. Okay. Good job linking. Okay. Remember, ovals are really hard. They don't always reflow correctly in other formats. Let's make sure we're centered here. A little hard to read this. Maybe if it had a little more space between the characters. This looks like a U. Well, I would probably just carry this font up to here too. Keep it really clean. Okay. I probably would make this not quite so wide and bring it over a little bit and bring that over a little bit. It is aligning there mostly. You have the year down here. We'll see how that does when you get to mobile. You may need to center something. Yeah, let's remove that fill behind the text. Let's create a little more contrast. The red on black is hard to read. Let's only have, you won't need this here because you have it here. So a choice can be made there. And I'm anxious to see what the mobile's going to look like. Okay. That needs to be one line, probably under here. Probably that would be centered. And this will probably be centered. Well, yeah, I would center this and probably center that. And I would take that out and change that for that page. Okay, easy to read. The white. I'm gonna put a little space there. Yeah, you're gonna adjust that. A little more, I mean, it's okay, it fits. It almost looks like a style because you've got that angular text. So going to the edge almost looks like it's on purpose. That's empty. Again, we got to get rid of that background fill. You can put a single shape behind it and have that like a 30% black or something, and so it, you can have a contrast, make it readable, but not behind the sentence. It has to be behind one big rectangle behind the whole thing. All right, nice job. You've come a long way. I'm excited to see where you're going to be next week. Okay, this needs to be a little bolder. The S and W, maybe filled in. But good job, you've got your name and what you do. Super clear. I land here, I know what you do. And so I know what to look for. Good job. Everything's organized, easy to read. You've got your year down here. Oh, a little hard to read. But wait, when you get next week, in week 4, you'll check out the accessibility. It will tell you if that's sufficient or not. Okay. All right, let's just remove the home page. Okay, we can start either with the About or the Project page. I thought this was your home page, so let's just delete that. You can, drag your About to the center if you want, but it's really up to you. All right, it's looking good. Nice. Yeah, I think you want to fill that. It's going to look great. Your color scheme is working really well. Clarity is everything. Okay, you do need a photo. You can use your phone and just natural lighting with a very simple background, and that will be great. Okay. All right. And unless you plan on putting a demo reel here, I would just remove the home page. All right. Great job. Okay, Chloe. Let's put this information, filmmaker, up here. This can stay here, and based in Hong Kong can be underneath it, but filmmaker needs to go to the top. May want to center that, we'll see. Perfect. I feel like this, yeah, this is stock, so we want to get rid of that. You only want your work, because as a cinematographer, that's what people are expecting. And so when they realize this isn't, then that becomes an issue. And it's a little grainy, but I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's stock from Wix. If not, please let me know. This is stock. So I'm inclined to think the other is too. All right, so you do want to put your own images here. Okay, if you like these images, try and replicate it. You might not be able to replicate this one, but probably this you can. We do need to have a contact form, so if you want to remove the image and just put a form there, that would meet the requirement. Probably don't need this twice. Close that space up. Yeah, I think you want to make sure that you have your own images, okay? No, I know that you do. Again, if I am mistaken and that these others are yours, please make sure to tell me. Okay, I don't see content about them, which means, and I don't really have time to do a check. I often do. I'm just going to trust you to let me know, but you need to have descriptions for everything. Okay? All right. Okay. Now everyone wants to duplicate their site and start making their edits for their revision. All right. Make sure you make a bulleted list of the comments so you can turn those in with your revision. All right. Good job, everybody. Keep up the good work.